So, you've been feeling a little crypto curious, right? But man, it is overwhelming with all the noise out there. If that's you, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to give you a framework, a way to cut through all that hype and start investigating new cryptocurrencies like you're a seasoned detective on the case.
I mean, this is the question, isn't it? It's on everyone's mind. You see the headlines, you hear these crazy stories, and you just can't help but wonder, okay, which one is the one? You know, the project that's actually going to change everything.
Well, just to give you a sense of the scale of the challenge here, there are over 10,000 cryptocurrencies out there, and new ones are launching pretty much every single day. Honestly, it feels less like a marketplace and more like a massive, sprawling crime scene that we need to investigate very, very carefully.
We are absolutely living in a modern-day gold rush. And that means it's exciting, it's chaotic, and yeah, it's incredibly risky. Everyone is just rushing to find that next big thing, and it is so easy to get lost.
And that's really the heart of the problem, right? It's the constant hype. It's that pressure, that nagging feeling, that fear of missing out. It just pushes people to make these impulsive decisions instead of informed ones. But we're going to change that, starting today.
So, how in the world do we navigate this chaos? Okay, first thing, forget trying to find some kind of magic answer. What we need is a repeatable framework. Think of it as a detective's toolkit that you can use on any new project you happen to stumble upon.
See, this is all about empowering you. We're going to shift your role from, a hopeful speculator just tossing a coin into a wishing well to a discerning analyst, someone who can actually assess the evidence and make a calculated decision.
Our investigation is going to be broken down into 3 main case files. It's simple. First, we'll dig into the technology itself. Then, we're going to investigate the people behind the whole thing. And finally, we're going to follow the money. That's it. Simple, structured, and really effective.
All right, first up, case file, the technology. At its heart, every single crypto project is a piece of technology. This is the foundation, and if the foundation is weak, well, the whole building is at risk of coming down.
And this is probably the single most important question you can ask. Is this thing a genuine solution to a real-world problem? Or is it just a kind of cool piece of tech that's searching for a purpose? Utility, my friends, is everything. So here are the clues you got to look for. First, that white paper. Is it a clear blueprint for what they're building, or is it just a bunch of marketing fluff? Then, the use case. Do people really need this? Next, check if the code is public, say on a site like GitHub. Are developers actually, developing? And finally, look at their roadmap. Are the goals specific and realistic, or are they just promising the moon?
Okay, so with our technical analysis started, let's move on to our second case file, the people. Because, let's be honest, a brilliant idea is pretty much worthless without a capable and trustworthy team to actually make it happen.
When it comes down to it, you're not just investing in lines of code. You're investing in people. So who are these people? Are they experienced visionaries with a track record, or are they just anonymous avatars hiding behind a cartoon profile picture? Here's your checklist of persons of interest. Go investigate the founders. Look them up on LinkedIn. Do they have a real background in tech or finance? Look for that developer activity we talked about. And then, see who the early investors are. Big, reputable firms are usually a pretty good sign. And last, check out the community on places like Discord or Telegram. Are people having smart conversations, or is it just a wall of rocket emojis? But here's the thing. Even with amazing tech and a killer team, a project can totally fail if the economics are broken. And that brings us to our final, and maybe most important, case file, the money. We have to understand what's called tokenomics. Basically, the economics of the coin itself. This is all about getting a handle on the supply, the demand, and the distribution of the project's coin. A project's tokenomics will tell you if it's designed for, say, long-term sustainable growth, or if it's just a short-term cash grab for the founders.
Right, so when you look at how the tokens are allocated, you really want to see a big chunk, ideally the majority, going to the community. If you see a huge percentage set aside for the team and early investors, that's a bit of a red flag. It creates this risk that they could just dump all their coins on the market later on and totally crash the price.
And one really key concept here is understanding the difference between a fair launch and a pre-mine. A fair launch, think Bitcoin, means everybody has a shot to get the coins right from day one. A pre-mine, on the other hand, is when the creators and their insider buddies give themselves a massive bag of coins before anyone else can even get in. It is a huge red flag for potential market manipulation. Okay, so you've investigated the technology, you've looked into the people, you've followed the money, you've gathered all the evidence. Now, it's time to step back and deliver your verdict.
Now, it is really important to remember this. No one can predict the future. This toolkit is not a crystal ball. The goal here isn't to guarantee a profit. The goal is to conduct a sound analysis, to understand the risks, and to make an informed decision based on the actual evidence you have in front of you.
And here it is, your final checklist. Run every single potential project through these 4 questions. Does it solve a real problem? Is the team credible? Are the tokenomics fair? And maybe most importantly, have you based your decision on your own research, not on somebody else's hype? Because ultimately, when you shift your perspective, when you go from pure speculation to value-based investigation, you change the entire game. You stop chasing hype and you start looking for innovation, for good technology, and for teams that are building something that actually matters. And believe me, that is a far more rewarding strategy in the long run.